Every city has a story. Some are built on history, some are built on culture, and some become known for the voices that rise from their streets. This documentary tells the story of one of those cities, Cincinnati, Ohio, a place where history and music collide. From a city that once served as a gateway to freedom for enslaved people crossing the Ohio River, to a place that would later produce some of the most influential musicians in American culture. And now, a new voice is emerging from that same legacy. This is the story of how history, culture, and music connect through generations, leading to the rise of one of Cincinnati's newest artists, Skylar Blatt. This is more than a story about music. It's a story about a city, a culture, and a journey. This is the rise of Skylar Blatt.
This only happens in Ohio. The struggle made me whole. Turn my pain into power. Now I'm taking control.
Man, y'all know it's your man, Snitty, man. This only happens in Ohio, man. We back at it, man. And like we've been telling y'all, we striving for quality. We want to enhance the culture. We want to dive deep in Ohio culture. Who got the motion? Who got something going on? Who has a story to tell? And who's good and who's not? Let's start cutting into it. Let's start peeling back the layers. So we got something special, man. A docu-series. And I ain't gonna break down each and every one. But number one, coming to you first, Skylar Blatt from Cincinnati, Ohio. And salute to Skylar Blatt, man. We've been paying attention. And if you haven't been paying attention, that's why we have created the Rise of Skylar Blatt, where we gonna break it down from Cincinnati history to Skylar Blatt's history to her rise in Ohio culture and beyond. So now that y'all know why y'all here, let's rewind the clock. Cincinnati is special because Cincinnati was the first stop for enslaved blacks to become free, following the Underground Railroad system. Let's take a look.
In the early years of the United States, slavery existed across much of the country. Both northern and southern states practiced slavery at different points in history. But by the early 1800s, the institution had become concentrated almost entirely in the southern states. Across the South, millions of African Americans were enslaved. Men, women, and children were bought and sold as property, forced to work on farms, plantations, and in homes without pay, without rights, and often separated from their families. Life under slavery was brutal. Freedom was something many enslaved people could only dream about. But for some, there was a way out. It was known as the Underground Railroad. Despite its name, the Underground Railroad was not an actual railroad, and it did not run underground. Instead, it was a secret network of routes, safe houses, and people willing to risk everything to help enslaved individuals escape bondage. The system was organized by abolitionists, people who believed slavery was wrong and worked to end it. These men and women included both black and white Americans, who secretly sheltered fugitives in their homes, barns, churches, and hidden rooms. Those who helped guide escaping slaves were often referred to as conductors. The houses where fugitives could rest safely were called stations. Travel along the Underground Railroad was dangerous. Escaping slaves often moved at night, guided by the stars or whispered directions passed between trusted allies. If captured, they could be returned to slavery and severely punished. Those who helped them could face fines, imprisonment, or worse. Yet despite the danger, thousands of people attempted the journey to freedom. One of the most important paths to freedom ran through the state of Ohio. During the 1800s, Ohio was considered a free state, meaning slavery was illegal there. But just across the Ohio River were slave states like Kentucky and Virginia. For enslaved people living in those states, the Ohio River represented something powerful: hope. Crossing that river meant stepping out of slave territory and into a place where slavery was not recognized by law. For many freedom seekers, the goal was simple: make it across the river. Cities along the Ohio River became key stops along the Underground Railroad. Among them was the city of Cincinnati, Ohio. Because of its location directly across from Kentucky, Cincinnati became one of the most active areas in the Underground Railroad network. Escaping slaves could cross the river and find allies waiting to help them continue north toward freedom. Many residents of Ohio, including ministers, farmers, and everyday citizens, quietly opened their homes to fugitives. Some built hidden rooms or secret passageways where escaping slaves could hide while they prepared for the next leg of their journey. These safe houses stretched across the state, forming one of the largest underground railroad networks in the entire country. The journey to freedom didn't always end in Ohio. Many continued traveling farther north to places like Michigan or even into Canada, where slavery had been abolished entirely. But for countless men and women risking everything for a better life, the first step toward freedom was crossing one simple boundary: the Ohio River. For those fleeing slavery, reaching the northern shore often meant more than just geography. It meant freedom. And in cities like Cincinnati, the legacy of those journeys would become part of the foundation that shaped the culture, resilience, and identity of the community for generations to come. As Cincinnati continued to grow through the late 1800s and into the 20th century, the city became more than just a place tied to the fight for freedom. It began developing something else that would shape its identity for generations to come: music. From churches and neighborhood gatherings to clubs and recording studios, Cincinnati slowly became a powerful hub for musical creativity. The sounds coming from the city reflected the experiences of the people who lived there: struggle, joy, faith, celebration, and resilience. By the mid-1900s, Cincinnati was producing artists who would help shape the sound of American music. One of the most influential figures to come from the city was Bootsy Collins. Known for his larger-than-life personality, star-shaped bass guitar, and unmistakable style, Bootsy Collins helped redefine funk music. As a member of James Brown's band, and later a key part of Parliament Funkadelic, Bootsy helped push the boundaries of rhythm and groove, influencing generations of musicians who followed. Another legendary act with deep ties to Cincinnati, the Isley Brothers helped shape multiple eras of music, blending gospel roots with R&B, soul, rock, and funk. Their catalog of hits became part of the soundtrack of American culture and has been sampled and referenced by countless hip-hop artists over the decades. As the music industry evolved, Cincinnati artists continued to leave their mark. Producers like High Tech helped bring a soulful sound to hip-hop production in the late 1990s and early 2000s. His work with artists like Talib Kweli and Mos Def helped define a new era of lyric-driven hip-hop and placed Cincinnati firmly within the national rap conversation. From funk to soul, from R&B to hip-hop, Cincinnati's musical legacy continued to evolve with every generation. But as the industry moved deeper into the 2000s, the city's sound began shifting once again. A new wave of artists began emerging from Cincinnati's neighborhoods. Artists whose music reflected the realities of modern urban life. Their stories were raw, direct, and deeply connected to the streets that raised them. Among those voices was a rapper whose music would soon gain national attention, an artist by the name of Lantana. His breakout record, All Hustle No Luck, would introduce many listeners to Cincinnati's street rap scene, showing the world that the city still had powerful voices ready to be heard. And as artists like Lantana began opening doors, a new generation of talent started watching closely. Young artists growing up in Cincinnati could now see a path forward. They could see someone from their city making noise in the industry. And for one young artist in particular, that inspiration would help spark the beginning of her own journey. Her name was Skylar Blatt, and her story was just getting started. As hip-hop continued to grow across the country in the early 2000s, every city began developing its own voice. Atlanta had its trap sound, Detroit had its gritty street storytelling, Chicago had drill, and in Cincinnati, a new sound was beginning to emerge from the streets. A sound built on struggle, ambition, and the determination to turn nothing into something. As Cincinnati's hip-hop scene continued to grow, the impact of artists like Lantana began opening doors for others across the city. For young artists watching from their neighborhoods, success no longer felt impossible. It felt closer, more real. But sometimes, the inspiration that changes your life doesn't come from someone across the city. Sometimes, it comes from someone right down the street. In downtown Cincinnati, another artist had begun making a name for himself locally. His name was Skyler. While his reach may not have been national at the time, within the city he was building real momentum.
It's your boy Skyler, aka Fully Yee, and this where the fuck I'm from. We downtown Cincinnati, Ohio, man. Downtown, down the way, West End, you hear me? Stanley Road.
His music was circulating through local shows, neighborhood conversations, and the growing online platforms that were beginning to shape independent artists' careers. For people in the area, seeing someone from their own neighborhood gain recognition was powerful. It proved that the dream wasn't just something happening somewhere else. It could start right here. For a young artist growing up in that same environment, that kind of example can mean everything. Watching someone from your own streets take music seriously, build a name, and earn respect can change the way you see your own future. And for Skylar Blatt, that inspiration hit close to home. Seeing Skyler's success helped push her to take her own passion for music more seriously.
Was there any rappers you were looking at as like the hometown hero at that age?
Yeah, Skyler.
Okay.
He from my community too.
Oh, nice.
His name's Skyler. Yeah, he was like, he had the city though. He had the city on lock.
Okay.
Like it was the city, not
Right.
just my community, everybody. Even if you wasn't from down there, everybody.
Bad shit. I thought, like, years back when I first started rapping, I was thinking, like, man, I'm probably nervous.
What may have started as an interest or a hobby began to feel like a real path, a real career. But inspiration alone isn't enough. Turning a dream into reality takes work. It takes consistency. And it takes the courage to step forward and let the world hear your voice. Soon, Skylar Blatt would begin doing exactly that.
Network. I heard Wacky was the best, sir. Doing too much talking, you get put up on the next shirt. Baby, she's a sack chase. It's funny how he left her. Crazy it was Waffy. That's the reason why my egg hurt. Right for right. Tell them haters, let's go right for right.
Through early music videos, local performances, and collaborations with artists already making noise in the city, she slowly started building her presence in Cincinnati's growing music scene. The foundation was being laid. The early grind had begun. And before long, Skylar Blatt would start turning those early moments of inspiration into opportunities that would push her career far beyond the streets of Cincinnati. Success in music didn't have to come from somewhere else. It could start right here in Cincinnati. And with that realization, Skylar began taking her craft seriously. Like many artists at the beginning of their careers, the early days were about putting in work and building a name one step at a time. She started releasing music videos, recording new songs, and connecting with other artists within the local scene. Her style quickly stood out. Skyler had the ability to move between different sounds, sometimes delivering hard rap verses, other times shifting into melodic records that showcased a completely different side of her artistry. That versatility helped her build a growing audience within the city. As her buzz began to grow, she started collaborating with other artists who were already making noise in Cincinnati. Those collaborations helped expand her reach and introduced her to even more listeners across Ohio. Soon, the recognition started to follow. Skylar Blatt began earning attention at ThisOnlyHappensInOhio, being ranked as high as number 2 on the top 50 Ohio artist list, one of the state's biggest platforms for highlighting emerging artists. Skylar Blatt was a name to watch. Around this same time, she also began sharing more of her story publicly.
To be honest, it started. See, I had 2 best friends. They both passed away. One gave me my name, and one convinced me to stop rapping. So it was like once I lost both of them, it was just like, all right, I gotta do something. Something has to shake. So it was like, I just felt like that was God just sending me a message, like, you know, he took them to open my eyes and let me know, like, to do it on my own. Because I was always like, you know, they're your best friends. I was dependent on them. So it was just like, he was showing me.
During the interview, she spoke about her background, where she came from, and the meaning behind her name. It was a moment that gave fans a deeper look into the person behind the music. And for many people watching, it was clear that Skylar wasn't just another artist chasing attention. She was building something real, the consistency, the work ethic, the growing recognition. All of it was starting to build momentum. And as her buzz continued spreading beyond the city, the opportunities would begin getting even bigger. Soon, a simple moment on social media would open the door to one of the biggest names in hip-hop, a moment that would connect Skylar Blatt with Meek Mill, and that connection would push her journey to an entirely new level.
So if you really pay attention and do your homework, she laid out the blueprint. Move and shake in your city amongst your people. Gain the respect of others. Push your music amongst the masses. Put in the work. Tap into the platforms. Get the content. That's your proof. I'm here. And I'm here to stay. You know, that's how it reached beyond Cincinnati to where somebody as Meek Mill will hear it. Come to the show. You go to the show. Fly out to the studio. She flies out to the studio. No ifs and buts about it. No questioning it. Putting in the work. Believing in her grind. You know, and that's your proof. I'm here. And I'm here to stay.
As Skylar Blatt continued building momentum in Cincinnati, her name was slowly beginning to travel beyond the city. Her music was circulating through social media, local shows, and the growing network of artists paying attention to the Midwest scene. But sometimes, the moment that changes everything starts with something simple. A post, a message, a chance taken at the right time. One day, while scrolling through social media, Skylar noticed that one of the biggest names in hip-hop had viewed her story. Meek Mill. Instead of letting the moment pass, she decided to take a chance. She sent him a direct message. For many artists, a message like that might never receive a response. But this time, it did.
I think it was like 2019, and him and Future was on that tour, matter of fact. And one of Top from DC, he had hit up somebody that knew me, like, yeah, tell her to come to the concert. It literally happened just like that, like, tell her to come to the concert.
Meek Mill checked out her music, and he liked what he heard. At the time, he was on tour, traveling city to city, performing for thousands of fans across the country. And one of those tour stops happened to be Cincinnati. When the tour arrived in the city, Skylar received an opportunity many independent artists only dream about. she was invited backstage.
And when I got there, it was me and him. When I got there, we was backstage, shit, we was just chilling, like. And he just had a contract right there, like, go get you a lawyer. Like, get you a lawyer, like, look over this, get you, like, straight like that. Like, it wasn't no, here, you want to sign, it was, get you a lawyer. Like, and we kind of just built our bond from there. Like, I used to fly out, go in the studio with him, the normal thing. And we just always held a bond. Like, I didn't sign to him, but it ain't like no bad blood or nothing. I still fuck with me. Yeah, like, it's out of love with me.
In that moment, the connection that started online became real. Backstage at the show, Skyler had the chance to meet Meek Mill face to face, talk about music, and build a relationship that could potentially open new doors in her career. For an artist still building her name, moments like this are more than just exciting. They are validation, proof that the work, the late nights in the studio, and the grind are beginning to reach the right ears. And in the music industry, relationships can change everything. The meeting with Meek Mill didn't just represent a co-sign from a major artist. It represented momentum. Momentum that was continuing to push Skylar Blatt further into the national conversation. But as her career continued growing, another moment was waiting just around the corner. A moment that would start with a single performance, a viral video, and a repost from one of the biggest entertainers in the world, Chris Brown. And that moment would take Skylar Blatt's career to an entirely new level. As Skylar Blatt continued building momentum, her career was entering a new phase. The work she had been putting in for years, the recording sessions, the visuals, the collaborations, and the growing buzz within Cincinnati was beginning to reach a wider audience. But sometimes, in the music industry, one moment can change everything. One performance, one clip, one video that captures the attention of the right people at the right time. Skylar stepped in front of the camera for a mic drop style performance with the platform known as On the Block. The record she chose to perform was a bold and unapologetic track titled F Fame. The energy in the performance was raw, direct, confident. Shortly after the video was released, it began spreading quickly across social media. The clip began gaining traction as people shared the video, reacting to the confidence and presence Skylar brought to the performance. Views continued climbing. More people started reposting the clip, and before long, the video found its way onto the screen of one of the biggest entertainers in the world, Chris Brown. After seeing the performance, Chris Brown shared the clip on his Instagram story, and with that single repost, the moment exploded. What had already been gaining attention suddenly reached an entirely new audience. Fans across the country began discovering Skylar Blatt's music. The record F Fame DSOR started circulating even more, spreading through social media timelines and conversations within the music industry. But what happened next showed something important about Skylar's approach to opportunity. Instead of simply celebrating the viral moment, she took the next step.
When he did that, he had reposted the record. I DM'd him. I'm like, thank you, I appreciate that.
She reached out. Skylar sent Chris Brown a message, thanking him for sharing the video and showing love to her music. It was a simple gesture. But in the music industry, moments like that can lead to real connections. And this time, that connection would become something much bigger.
Him and Lil Baby had a tour coming to Cincinnati. Like a month later, I was going to the tour. I had already was going. And when I got there, I had DM'd him as I was like, he was performing and stuff. I DM'd him. I'm like, yo, I want to come back there and get some pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
Like 30 minutes later, he like, I got you. Like, I'm gonna send somebody out there to come get you.
An opportunity that would eventually lead to one of the biggest records of her career. A song called Wake Up. And the story of how that record came together would become one of the most important chapters in Skylar Blatt's rise. From the banks of the Ohio River, where freedom seekers once crossed into Cincinnati to escape slavery, to a city that would later give the world musical pioneers like Bootsy Collins and the Isley Brothers, Cincinnati has always been a place where history, culture, and resilience come together. Over the years, that same spirit would carry into the streets and studios of a new generation of artists. Artists like Lantana, Insomniac Lambs, Scally, and Roadrunner TB. Voices that helped keep Cincinnati's hip-hop culture alive and evolving. And now, that legacy continues with Skylar Blatt, from early performances in the city to viral moments that reached millions, from mentions on the world-famous The Joe Budden podcast.
This is a young lady by the name of Skylar Blatt, featuring Chris Brown,
to being invited to perform at Big 3 events, from connecting with artists across the industry, including building friendships with Young Thug, to celebrating success in ways many once only dreamed about. But even with the bright lights, the Lamborghinis, and the growing attention, the impact of Skylar Blatt's journey reaches far beyond music. It's in the moments where young fans ask for autographs, where children see someone from their city living out their dreams, and realize that maybe they can too. Because stories like this don't just happen anywhere. They happen in places built on history, resilience, and culture. Places like Cincinnati. And here at This Only Happens in Ohio, we're proud to support the journey. Proud to tell the story. And proud to witness the rise of Skylar Blatt.
Cincinnati? Well, in case y'all didn't know, that's her. Stand up, Skylar, stand up, stand up. Y'all make some fucking noise for Skylar Blatt in the crowd.
I'm a little mama magic, baby, I know it's a tricky city. Let her come back to the studio. I let her peep how we vibing. I was trapping out of public hiding. Now we having conversation with the pilot. Baby, I'm at the studio. You should come back with me. Baby, don't make it, I'm at the studio. You should come back with me. 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 You should come back. You should come back. Baby, I'm at the studio. It's so hard to keep it business. I'm in Lil' Mama and Magic, baby, I know it's a tricky city. Let her come back to the studio. I let her peep how we vibing. I was trapping out of public hiding. Now we having conversation with the pilot. Baby, I'm at the studio. You should come back with me. Baby, don't make it, I'm at the studio. You should come back with me. 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 You should come back. You should come back. Baby, I'm at the studio.